Dr. Rosamilia, we're almost done with 25. It's hard to believe. What excites you most about 2026? What for PA Med and maybe for physicians in healthcare?
So I think our board and some of our committees and leadership groups represent a lot of contrast. And so you were talking about 4 generations. There's also 4 generations of growing and established leaders in our groups. And so we've kind of subtly referred to all of them actually in this conversation, because we have our speaker and vice speaker. We have Dr. Mantione and myself, and we have ways that there are different specialties, different regions of the state, different levels of experience with PA Med, different leadership styles that are starting to grow. And I think that as part of membership, you talked about students and residents still engaging. I think they're actually even engaging more than in the past. And our current and past presidents really come to us sometimes and say, how are we going to remain relevant? And what do we do to really be on the ground and know what physicians and patients need? And I feel like that ball is rolling in a little bit more of a meaningful way lately.
Same question to you, Dr. Mantione. What really excites you for PA Med and for physicians and healthcare in 2026?
Well, I round out my time on the board in the end of this year, and I always hope that as we go forward, that when you step away, what's in place in front of you is going to expand on what's happened. And I think that in 2026, we are doing that expansion, making sure that we have members across the state, making sure that we stay relevant in the climate.
Dr. Mantione, I'm going to start with you to wrap this up. What message do you have for our members?
You stay involved. Do not let things go by without you.
Excellent. Thank you. Dr. Rosamilia, same question to you. What's your message?
Similar sentiment where I think just everyone needs to look up. I think we get bogged down by the churning of the way clinic and hospital patients, telemedicine, the sort of challenges that came from COVID, in addition to the financial strains that come upon practices and upon systems. If you know how that works and your ears to the ground, like we said, but you also look up and say, okay, if I'm going to complain, and my parents always told me that this was the way to approach things, is that if you're going to complain, then your next sentence has to be what you're going to do about it. And what you find is that in this, I call it kind of neo-COVID world, you find that people actually want to connect again and they want to be in person. And I think we've made that clear in our conversations, but also in our development as leaders.
First, I want to trademark neo-COVID. I haven't heard that. That's very good. But I also find it really fascinating that we started with be involved and have a voice for PA Med. We have to be on the front of everything going on. But you both also finish with the individual physician needs to be involved and have a voice, because if they don't, then someone else is going to speak up for them. So I really appreciate how you brought that all together, as their individual voices and involvement will help PA Med then have a voice and involvement. So I just want to thank both of you for giving me some time and giving the delegates some time to discuss it. Dr. Mantione and Dr. Rosamilia, again, thank you for being here. And I'd like to thank all the delegates for not only the 3 days you give us in Hershey, but what you do year round. What you do to advance PA Med and set policy, but what you do more importantly for your patients. So once again, thank you and have a wonderful House of Delegates.